Hey, this is Josie Ong with Affirmation Pod, your home for self-care and self-reflection. I hope you are putting yourself first, taking care of yourself. The fact that you're listening to this right now probably means you're on track. Awesome job. Today starts the month of self-care. So if you are new to Affirmation Pod, welcome. And every month I theme the month, and this month's theme is self-care. It also comes with a worksheet that is free. You can get it by going to affirmationpod.com/selfcare. If you completed the worksheet from last month, which was on stress management, which is available at affirmationpod.com/stress, this self-care worksheet will look really similar because the format is the same. Last month, we went over stress management strategies, and this month, it's looking into your favorite self-care strategies. So as I've done with all the other worksheet episodes, I go over my answers. So my self-care strategies that take less than 20 seconds are 1, hug my husband, 2, hug my kids, 3, hug my dog. You're probably familiar with the 5 love languages by Gary Chapman. Probably a no-brainer to guess that my top love language is words of affirmation. I have an affirmation podcast. But I'm also a physical affection kind of gal. So hugs, and more hugs are my favorite self-care strategies that take less than 20 seconds. Ones that take less than 20 minutes. I stretch, which I know I've mentioned before, but it is true. Something I do for self-care. It also helps me settle my thoughts, which I really love. I eat blueberries. It's one of my favorite foods on this planet. And yeah, it's part of my self-care. I really enjoy eating blueberries and they're really great for us. It's a win-win. I get them when they're in season and I freeze them. I try to buy as much as I can to get me through to at least December, but that doesn't always happen. And I also have a daughter who has adopted my love of blueberries. So it's becoming more and more apparent to me that every summer I need to increase my budget for blueberry purchases. My number 3 strategy for self-care that takes less than 20 minutes is I take a nap or a bath. Again, for self-care, these are things you do on a regular basis. They're in your routine for preventing stress in your life or reducing stress in your life. Things that I do that take less than an hour are I exercise, whether that be I throw on some YouTube and I dance, like I mentioned in episode 56. Which you can find at affirmationpod.com/dance. And some of you have given me some amazing feedback that it's inspired you to throw on some rock and roll and dance or some Backstreet Boys. And you're finding that the dancing is helping you boost your self-confidence as you work on your self-esteem as well. Number 2 for self-care here is I like to do something like read a book, listen to a podcast or journal somewhere out of my house. And if I can be outdoors, I go to the beach or the park. If the weather isn't comfortable for me, then I go to the library. But a place where I can be reflective and interact with some literature, some material, some content, that's great self-care for me too. Number 3 is I'll watch The Talk. It's a television show. You may have heard of it. It's kind of like The View, but I enjoy it far more than The View. And then, finally, my self-care strategies that take more than an hour are 1, go to a sporting event. I love watching live sports. I'm not one for movies, but something about live sports, it really relaxes me. And it sounds weird, but it really does calm me. I've been in arenas and stadiums and coliseums and sat and watched a sporting event, and I'm not even sure how to exactly explain it. It's kind of like part of me, my attention is suspended on whatever the event is, and then a special part of me, a very inspirational, creative, reflective side comes out and is able to, speak, I guess. So I've had lots of just really good times going to sporting events. It does get expensive, especially the teams that are around where I am, although I've also dropped in on the high school basketball tournaments and things like that, just because I love watching sports. Number 2 for self-care strategies that take more than an hour, I love going on cruises. Although I have to say, I've only been on 3, but I'm very excited to go on more. I want to go on more. I'm planning to go on more. I find cruising is something people are really into or they're really not into as a form of vacation. And we fall under the camp. And when I say we, it's my husband and my parents as well, fall under the camp of we love cruising. And who knows, maybe in the future, I'll organize an Affirmation Pod cruise for all of us. Okay, last thing under self-care that takes more than an hour, going to a concert. I love music. I've not gone to as many concerts as I wish, but I want to, and I want to see more. And I think that's where my social anxiety came in a lot when I was younger, because friends would go and I just felt uncomfortable with it. So now that I'm more comfortable in my own skin, it would be cool to go to more concerts. And in case you're wondering, the last concert I went to was Taylor Swift, actually. My husband got us tickets for my birthday. So those are the answers for my self-care worksheet. Just to recap, my favorite self-care strategies that take less than 20 seconds are 1, hug my husband, 2, hug my kids, 3, hug my dog. Favorite self-care strategies that take less than 20 minutes, 1, stretch, 2, eat blueberries, 3, take a nap or a bath. Self-care strategies that take less than an hour, 1, exercise, 2, go to the library or the beach to read, journal, or listen to a podcast. And 3, watch The Talk television show. Finally, self-care strategies that take more than an hour that I love are 1, go to a sporting event, 2, go on a cruise, and 3, go to a concert. I do encourage you to compare your answers for the self-care worksheet with your answers from the stress management worksheet so that you're clear on things you can do to prevent and reduce stress and things you can do once stress arrives and you're feeling overwhelmed. Now, all these worksheets are available for free through my podcast, just like you're listening now. However, I've put together a workbook of the 8 worksheets and the 8 episodes that accompany them and made them available at affirmationpod.com/workbook. It's my way of putting it all together for you in case you don't want to find each one in the podcast feed and then get each worksheet emailed to you. It's also a way for you to support the podcast if you want. There are fees and expenses associated with having a podcast. Again, you can get the workbook at affirmationpod.com/workbook. I'm really looking forward to the rest of the month and talking about self-care. I'm going to end the episode here so you can continue your self-care with the rest of your night or your day whenever you're listening to this. This is Josie with Affirmation Pod, your home for self-care and reflection. Thank you so much for clicking play today. Bye for now.